I'm watching Sean dance before this thing goes on. But anyways, folks, the past 15 days, I have not done a podcast or a vidcast, as I call them. Legitimate story because of the fact I was sick, and then all of a sudden I had some dental issues going on. But yeah, Sean and I just talked for probably a good 3-4 minutes, and then all of a sudden I get the notification from Facebook saying, "Hey, you need to go live by 10:54." And sure enough, I go and look, and yeah, sure enough, it says I haven't gone live yet. So we've now got viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've got an end broadcast thing, which means I am actually live, and we're bumped up to 4 viewers right now. So, anyways, my name is Chris Maloney. I am back after 15 days. Still not feeling 100%, but my voice is there thanks to this thing called Rye and Coke, Coke Zero at that. So I'll leave it at that. But I am on some meds for the next 9 days. I had 2 teeth pulled yesterday. And you know what? Honest to God, I was thinking to myself, night 1 of WrestleMania, I was going to sit there and say, you know what? It'd be like pulling teeth, watching the events and everything else. But no, tonight was a good show. My name is Chris Maloney. TNT Thursday Night Throwdown usually happens on Thursday. We are live post-show night 1 of WrestleMania 36. I was watching some stuff on YouTube earlier on. I was thinking to myself, why am I watching this? I should be doing this live. So talked to Sean. Sean was on board. So yeah, we got Sean of the Scumbags of Wrestling, who was kind of dancing at the beginning of the show. I'm not sure why he's got so much energy at, well, let me see, almost 11 o'clock at night. But Sean, let me get this out there. So I've been down and out for 15 days. You've been continuing. I know episode 99 of the Scumbags of Wrestling podcast launched yesterday. Haven't listened to the show yet, but I know you had some great guests on there as far as doing predictions for WrestleMania goes. What have you been up to the past 2 weeks, bar my absence?
Well, on my personal side, because I'm a frontline worker as a support worker for people with disabilities, I am at work and doing my 9 to 5, supporting that way. As far as wrestling goes, I'm still keeping up with WWE, AEW. As you said, episode 98 and 99 are out. Yesterday, I had Clarence from Midwestern, Stephen O'Neill, Gordon, and Jonesy as part of our talk of predictions for WrestleMania for this weekend. It's a good conversation. Just check it out on any platform that you listen to podcasts on, and getting ready for episode number 100, which I'm hoping you're going to be a part of, helping us do possibly video maybe next Sunday afternoon, I'm hoping, if your schedule allows it. Going to have a few things there. There's been asked to be honest bitch session. Jonesy wants to do trivia. We can do some Q&A. Just forming that all up right now, and hope to have an announcement of what episode number 100 is going to be. Plus, we're working on a brand new t-shirt that I know that people are going to love to see once it's done. Chris has seen a little bit of a preview of it before the color has been added. And yeah, so it's going to be really good. And I hope you viewers out there and supporters of Scumbags Wrestling are a part of it. And of course, looking forward to this weekend with WrestleMania, with or without an audience. I'm just also tired of hearing other podcasters saying that this is a weird time, odd, and everything, and not liking it without a crowd. But nobody's putting a gun to your head to watch it. Yeah, they're your own company in certain cases. I'm not going to call out the 2 different shows by name, but you own those companies. They're not any corporate thing having you do it and demand you to do the watching. So you could actually retire your show or do best of archive stuff instead of bitch about the fact that it's weird that nobody's there and doesn't seem right. Enjoy what you get, because without it, we're not going to have anything.
You know what? it's funny that Sean's the one who's venting and I'm the one who's drinking. But I tell you this, it wouldn't be the first time if I bitched and complained about freaking people here in Ontario talking about wrestling. So you might want to go back about 13 years and look up this thing called OWR, or Ontario Wrestling Recap, or the Voice of Ontario Indie Wrestling, and see my posts in my anyways. But I'm lowering down right now. I am not venting to the people we have listening right now at almost 11 o'clock at night, which is kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, I mean, if you're going to talk about wrestling, talk about it in a positive way, especially right now. If you're going to vent about the fact that wrestling exists, but it doesn't exist the way you want it to, hey, guess what? Fuck off. Okay. This show right now is non-PG. So if you're going to crap on wrestling on, let me see, April 4th, 2020, when everything is going on, hey, go fuck yourself, okay? That's my viewpoint as far as Chris Maloney goes, okay? I am enjoying the fact that wrestling's still out there. I'm enjoying the fact that WrestleMania took place tonight. WrestleMania is going to take place tomorrow as well. To the viewers that are watching us right now or going to listen to us later on, thank you very much for tuning in. And again, we are wrestling fans. So the fact is, whether or not it's pre-recorded, whether or not it's stuff that we don't agree with, we're still going to watch it as wrestling fans. And that's exactly what Sean was just saying as well. It's still, to me, WrestleMania. And I'm trying to enjoy this weekend as a WrestleMania fan. As much as I possibly can. I have not read spoilers. I have not gone into any kind of dirt sheets, as Sean calls them. I want to enjoy it as a fan. Everything that happened tonight when I was watching it, I had no idea what the hell was happening. Tomorrow night, when WrestleMania Part 2 takes place, the same thing. I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to care who wins, who loses. I'm just going to enjoy it as a wrestling fan, knowing what's going on in, society in Ontario, especially in 2020. Sean, I know your sentiments that you had just said, but as a wrestling fan, are you still enjoying the fact that we have wrestling somewhat as something new that we have not seen, have not heard about? Have you searched for spoilers yourself, or are you enjoying this as it is?
Yeah, I've totally avoided anything involving spoilers for even Raw, SmackDown, NXT, plus, of course, definitely this weekend for WrestleMania. I don't even look for spoilers for AEW, but it's also interesting that those same people who complain about WWE existing are giving AEW a pass. Gotta be even with everybody, regardless of what it is, and just enjoy it, as we've been saying. And it's been good. There's some bad. I won't deny that part, but it's more than what we're getting if you're a baseball fan, hockey, football, or any other sport. They're all dormant. Wrestling has a no-die attitude, and when they have a TV outlet like they do, and they're able to give it to us as long as they can before government steps in and says, no more gatherings, no more recordings, so be it. But until then, let's enjoy.
Yeah, so we are recording right now. It is April the 4th, 10:58 p.m. I will do this as long as my voice can hold up. I got 2 teeth extracted yesterday. I am on meds for the next 9 days. Alcohol is my I shouldn't say religion, but it is my one of my favorite things right now. So anyways, I will get through this. And if I pass out drunk, just call me Chris Jericho. But anyways, we will go through results right now. Sean, you watched the whole card? Did you get to see the pre-show as well?
Yeah, I ended up doing that. I was also cooking dinner and stuff for my wife, and we didn't have necessarily I know. We didn't have a WrestleMania party. She was separate from me, but at least we had that going on. So I was watching it while she doing it at the same time. So, yeah, I got to see the whole card.
All right, so we'll go through a match by match here. Match 1 was the kickoff match. Nothing was announced. They did announce everything during the pre-show, but no idea what kickoff match was going to take place. No idea what matches were going to take place in order. But match number 1 was the kickoff match between Drew Gulak and Cesaro. Sean, your thoughts on the match, and as well as that I'm trying to think of a word, but I can't. But that huge kind of airplane spin by Cesaro there.
Yeah, I was surprised by it. You sent me actually a message, and I even missed the link that you originally sent of what the kickoff matches are supposed to be for tonight and tomorrow. I actually thought Drew was going to win because I was going for Sammy winning his match, but it turns out Cesaro picked up the victory. That airplane spin was very interesting, different from his regular spin, and picking up the victory from it. Hey, it's something new for Cesaro.
Yeah, no, I was 1-0 at this point. That was probably the best I was probably going to get tonight. At one point, I think I said on the Scumbags of Wrestling, I said, fuck this WrestleMania, wait till tomorrow night. So, anyways, but Cesaro,
Yeah.
I tell you this, Cesaro, as much as the gimmick is bland, I love the guy as a professional wrestler. He is one of the best. I miss him being with Sheamus. But I think his match with Drew Gulak has a lot to offer as far as down the road goes, and I can't wait to see these guys hook up. Once again, your thoughts on the two of these guys and whether or not who's got a future and who doesn't, and are they going to basically say fuck it and put Cesaro back with Sheamus?
I don't see Cesaro going with Sheamus anytime soon. Of course, though, Sheamus seems to be going to waste with what he's been doing since his return. Um, as far as it goes, these guys, all five of them that are together in this whole sort of group with Dana Bryan and Gulak on one side, and Cesaro, Nakamura, and Zayn, they're all really good technical wrestlers. And we saw how good the match between Bryan and Gulak was at Elimination Chamber. It would be nice to see a little bit of a change and allow sort of that style take over some of the shows and see more chain wrestling. And it's more appreciated because it hasn't been around as often lately. It's all been spot monkey stuff. And it'd be nice to see some chain wrestling return. And these guys can do it.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with that. All right, match number 1 of WrestleMania officially taking place. Kabuki Warriors taking on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss with the win for new champs. A lot of talk right now as far as Kairi Sane going back to Japan. Your thoughts on Asuka and Kairi losing the titles and whether or not we're going to see the last of Kairi Sane in WWE?
Well, I'd picked the title change to happen. I know a couple other people thought that the Kabuki Warriors were going to retain and possibly have a split between Bliss and Cross. But as you said, Kairi Sane, not Zayn, possibly leaving. She just got married and her contract is coming up. So her going back that way is understandable. They can maybe bring up Io Shirai if they want to continue a Kabuki Warriors sort of tag team, or they can build Asuka back up. They've been enjoying her doing her crazy dancing and yelling in Japanese, and they can build her up and maybe send her after Shayna Baszler. So
I've got to ask a question kind of offhand. How was Jones last night on the prediction show?
interesting. I know I got a message from Steven wondering if Chris was drunk, and I just basically said Chris is only watching some of it. He's not fully back into it, and sometimes he has zero else to give. And so some of Jonesy's answers, they were quick and to the point, which is great, instead of long drawn out answers like I give.
Yeah, he is watching right now on Niagara Falls, and one of the comments he just made was, "I hope the Funhouse match has a pyramid of toilet paper spot tomorrow." Surprising?
Not from Jonesy.
All right, so we go into match number 2 officially for WrestleMania. Baron Corbin loses to Elias. Thoughts on the match actually taking place, and thoughts on Corbin actually losing to Elias?
I saw Elias picking up the victory from the beginning, especially after they did that spot with him getting knocked off the pedestal and having that cinematic sort of almost diehard splat that he did. But yeah, I think we talked about on the Scumbags podcast that we thought Mojo and Gronk would get involved because they were the ones who helped set up this match, but that didn't happen. And yeah, there wasn't much highlight to it except for the guitar shot and the roll up victory. So it was kind of bland and not surprising because Elias works better as a heel, especially with that gimmick. And Corbin still has go away heat.
Yeah, so third match of the night completely messed up my friggin' my predictions here. Shayna Baszler loses to Becky Lynch by pinfall, kind of Roddy Piper, Bret Hart style. Are you surprised that Becky Lynch keeps the title? Are you surprised that Shayna Baszler loses the way she did?
Yeah, very much so on all accounts. Becky's had the title for a year now, under questionable circumstances, because if you see how she actually pinned Ronda, she didn't really pin her. But, that could be a carry-on story for when Ronda comes back. But the way they brought in Shayna and how she went through all of NXT dominating and then dominated all the women on Raw, this was her opportunity to actually take the title and have Becky maybe be a little bit more refreshed and also chase her for the title as a comeback after being maybe a little bit arrogant and also being taken out by Shayna the way she was. That didn't happen. Decent match, but, with the way the buildup was, it wasn't equal to what the match gave us.
Okay, so what am I missing? Because I'm going to post 2 comments right now. Did Edge win the women's title? Laughing my ass off by Stephen O'Neill. And the reason I'm reading this out because of the people who are not watching this as far as video goes, to listen to the audio. And by the way, we are on iHeartRadio right now, so check us out over there. So the first comment by Stephen O'Neill is right there. Followed up by just the past couple seconds, Sean J. Bates. Did Edge win the title? Winky face. What is this about?
Well, when we did our predictions the other night, it came time to run down the match itself, the lead up, and we were doing sort of roundtable of who was going to give their predictions. And when it came to Jonesy, we asked him who he was picking, and he picked Edge. Totally oblivious to what we were obviously talking about. And so, of course, the next little few minutes in our podcast was about Edge being in the women's match and possibly winning the title. So that's what that's about.
Okay, so Edge is the new Santina Marella.
Yes, apparently.
Okay, good to know. I was kind of
Amanda Copeland.
So I was kind of baffled by that first comment, and also I saw the second one. I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" So glad to see that's clarified now. Match number 4 of the night, as far as the main show goes, Sami Zayn defeats Daniel Bryan by pinfall to retain the IC title. Surprised by this one because I certainly friggin' was. My picks are going to shit right now. So, anyways, what do you see Sami Zayn? I mean, how long do you see Sami Zayn keeping the title and potential as far as anybody you can think of he's going to end up losing this to? Because I see Cesaro or Shinsuke possibly turning on Sami Zayn and then possibly winning the title from him.
I agree with you on that one. I was a little bit surprised by this. I did pick Sami Zayn to win because I'm thinking with, unfortunately, everything going on in the world with the virus and also Brie being pregnant, this might be one of the last times we see Daniel Bryan for a bit just because of the health going on. And it's understandable. That's great. Family comes first before this. But that's one of the reasons why I picked Sami to win. I was hoping it was going to be a technical clinic like how Drew and Daniel were at Elimination Chamber. Unfortunately, this was a little bit more comedy than technical. But I got the win and was up at least.
All right, so next match of the night, John Morrison ladder match taking on Kofi Kingston, taking on, let me see, Jimmy Uso for the SmackDown tag team titles. Surprised by the fact they would put the tag team titles in a singles match like this. And what are your thoughts on the match in general? Because a lot of people going nuts on Twitter as far as this match itself went.
It's unfortunate that it did get down to just being a one person representing each team, because the Miz did get ill. Thankfully, it appears not to be COVID-19. And it was unfortunately also the reason why Roman backed out of being a part of WrestleMania. But I saw that with the quote there. Anyways, yeah, they already set up the match, so it was okay that one team had a representative. I figured no matter what the official setup was, by the time the bell rang and our next appearance on SmackDown, Miz and Morrison were still going to be champions. It was definitely unique how the belts came down. They have never done that sort of format before. And so I guess that's the one bonus to the changeup. And I did like the spot where Morrison, with his parkour style and everything, was able to do the tightrope and hit a Spanish fly on Kofi. So a little bit of highlight there.
All right, Jonesy, you know what? Right now, I'm challenging you to a match here live on TNT anytime you want to. I don't care if it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever the case may be. Ryan Coke versus Roman Coke. We'll see who can drink the most and then who taps out first. But he's, for whatever reason, random words, brother. Hashtag, or not hashtag, exclamation mark. So, not sure what that means, but anyways, Jonesy, anytime you want to challenge on the show, Ryan Coke versus Roman Coke, we'll do it up. Next match of the night, sixth match of the official WrestleMania card. And I was kind of confused by this one. A lot of people kind of online as far as kind of bashing this. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. Oh, shit, this was actually a good match. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. Match ends in a DQ. Kevin Owens actually wins. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, is like, hey, this is not the way we're going to finish this. Hey, let's do this properly. Let's have a no DQ match. Him versus Seth Rollins. He ends up winning the match. Not sure if it's a legit injury or whether or not he was just playing it up, but he ends up winning with the stunner at the end of it. Your thoughts on the BS finish into a second match that goes no DQ, as well as your thoughts on whether or not Rollins versus Kevin Owens continues past this?
To address that one, I think it does continue because Rollins will just want the victory back. But yeah, the match itself possibly was one of the best matches of this half of WrestleMania, not counting the main event of tonight. But for what happened at the Performance Center, yeah, I was okay with the match the way it did play out. I was kind of disappointed with the shit-ass finish with the DQ, but when they did the call out and no disqualification and then jumping out the sign and everything, Owens finally got his WrestleMania moment, KO Mania 4, and yeah, it was decent. I enjoyed that. Once again, it's a match that could have been highlighted more by a crowd, but for the circumstances, yeah, probably one of the better matches of the whole night one.
So can you see that graphic that's on the screen right now?
Yeah.
So fan or no fan?
I'm okay with it. It gives him the chicken shit heel version that he wants right now. Like, apparently I heard that he was disappointed in I guess everything that happened with him and the Fiend that sort of made his character need to turn heel. Because I guess he might have had some plans as a babyface. But hey, fans can dictate what can go as well. And they're making the best out of a heel turn. And he's possibly one of the better spots now as a heel than he did the last time he was a heel as part of the little authority stuff that he was doing with Triple H and J&J Security. At least this time he's doing stuff. I would also say, what was it, 2 Mondays ago? His promo with Kevin Owens was actually one of his better ones as well. And so, yeah, why not? Let's see what goes on with the Monday Night Messiah.
It's kind of interesting. Not like we're in a lot of viewers right now, but the fact is, it keeps fluctuating. I'm kind of wondering, besides Jones, who is paying attention right now. But anyways, we will be doing this again tomorrow night. So if you are available and you have questions or comments, make sure you do post, because Jones is all over the board, probably about 90% right now. So and not bashing him at all, because he's got some good comments. But anyways, there is a lot more to wrestling than just Jonesy's comments, so to speak. So anyways, I'll have to. I'm curious to go back and listen to your show to find out what the hell happened with especially
circus.
Yeah, Stephen O'Neill's comments. But anyways, 2 matches left. Goldberg, as people call him, versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. Thoughts on the match? Thoughts on Goldberg? Is this it for him? Because I had saw a comment on, I think, your Scumbags of Wrestling Facebook group, as far as maybe this is it as far as his contract goes. So what do you think?
Well, from my understanding, he was only supposed to be contracted to WrestleMania, but I thought possibly with what was going on and Roman having to pull out, that they might have at least tried to secure him for at least one more match for when Roman is available. Do that, pass the torch that way. It was a typical Goldberg match. I know somebody commented how many times they had to film it to make up for any botches. I wondered how many times they had to film it for how gassed out Goldberg got, even by walking from the dressing room to the ring and then hitting 3 spears. That might have been like 7 takes just to get that in the environment that they were filming in. Definitely surprised that Strowman took the title. Be interesting to find out where they go from here now that he has the belt, and Roman eventually will want to come back and go for the title, knowing that Strowman took his place.
Are you still there? Because your picture froze. Anybody watching this live, we get a frozen shot of Sean right now. Let's see if I can remove him and then bring him back. Let's see. Nope, still the same thing. So anyway, that was Sean's comment on the match anyways, but I was actually going to ask him whether or not he thought Roman Reigns was the next to set up as far as Strowman and that feud goes. Nope, Sean has completely disappeared here. So I am by myself on the screen right now. Cannot minimize myself, which is, nope, hold on. Looks like Sean might be back. Are you back?
Yeah, sorry, don't know what happened there.
It's funny. For the first time since I've been doing this show, my wife is in the other room, not in the bedroom, kind of down the hall, but in the other room. So when I'm saying stuff, she kind of just.
Oh, I saw Sean's face.
Oh, she saw. What do you mean? Are you watching?
I was scrolling my Facebook and I just saw.
Oh, so apparently my wife is watching. What does this mean? I'm still available. Jones, clarify that. What do you mean you're still available? Sean, have you frozen again? Or are you just smiling? Sean has apparently... Sorry, this... it's funny how we've done 12 episodes plus some extras, and Sean has never frozen the way he has now. But yeah, we get some good comments. No, he's disappeared again. Anyways, this is what you get when I've missed like friggin' 15 days, and I am on meds right now, and drinking some alky, and
I have no idea what's going on. I'm sorry. It's 11:20, and for whatever reason, my neighborhood sucks for internet, and my service provider is horrible. I'm definitely looking at somebody new.
you know what? Now I'm having fun with this because the fact is, I'm like sitting here trying to do this for the first time in like 2 weeks, and also my wife for the first time is actually watching us. She's watching go back and forth. Jones is like, I'm awake and ready if you need back, and it's like 11:20 at night. But
let's get out to the last match.
What's that?
Can we get to the last match before I crap out again?
Yeah, Jones says most entertaining. Well, actually, I don't even need to pronounce it here. Most entertaining episode. Thank you, Jonesy. Anyways, yeah, okay. So we went through the Goldberg match. I think he's officially done until Vince decides to pull that trigger again. But whatever the case, the question I was going to ask you is whether or not Braun versus Roman Reigns is what we're going to see as soon as this stupid pandemic is finished up.
Probably. But yay, we get to see it again. How many trucks are we going to turn over this time?
Very true. But Elias got to win tonight, so who knows? Maybe it's Elias versus Braun Strowman. They have history. Seriously, put up in another friggin' cello match or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see.
All right. So last match of the night, as you're calling it. Jesus.
It was the last match of the night.
Undertaker, Taker and Styles. So a lot of people online, as far as Twitter goes, as far as my feed goes, I was watching what they were thinking of the match. I was watching the Scumbag group as well as this match was taking place. I was thinking my own personal thoughts. What were your thoughts on, first of all, the American Badass showing up once again, the movie theatrics of the match, as well as is this it for AJ Styles versus The Undertaker?
I don't know if this will be it for AJ and Taker. Was not surprised about Biker Taker, American Badass coming back, especially after Monday's promo that he did, which was amazing to start off Monday Night Raw. As far as the match went, I had a feeling that this one, along with the Funhouse, were going to be very cinematic. Vince says he likes to make movies. This was his opportunity to do so. And I was just a little confused. There was no sign of the whole unholy trinity that Taker talked about a couple times. I was expecting a cameo from either Papa Shango, the Boogeyman, his brother Kane, maybe even Abyss, who possibly had a hand in the production of this. But none of that happened. We did obviously see the Good Brothers and a bunch of Druids get taken out. I thought it was a little hokey with the hand of AJ coming through the dirt because he's not Undertaker, and Undertaker did that at Buried Alive with Mankind. But overall, a very good movie that they did. Hid a lot of weaknesses and was really a nice refresh from after seeing a couple of hours in the Performance Center.
All right, so overall thoughts, WrestleMania 36 Part 1 out of 10, what do you give it?
Probably maybe a generous 7.5. I think the action was good. The performers did their business that they needed to do. Maybe the finishes were not as crisp or logical as maybe they should have been. But at the same time, at the end of the day, that's up to the producers or the agents that were on those matches and also the final say in Vince McMahon. But beyond that, between the bells, I enjoyed.
All right. And what are you actually at as far as your record goes? Because I know I'm at 4 and 5, which is completely fucking bullshit. What are you at, though?
Going into tomorrow, I'm 6 and 3.
All right, so I get some room to move and some room to catch up. I will let people know. What the fuck? There we go. Call these the episodes of miss friggin' episodes. Let me see. So tomorrow I've got The Fiend winning, Edge winning, Sasha Banks as new champ, Rhea Ripley to retain, Profits to retain, Aleister Black, Ziggler as far and Natalia, and then probably what's going to be the main event tomorrow, Drew McIntyre as well. No offhand, what your picks are?
I think I have Edge, Drew, Otis, Fiend, Liv Morgan, Lacey Evans, and Street Profits.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see.
And Aleister Black.
So there will probably be a virtual championship online as far as WrestleMania goes. Try to make this a regular thing because we used to do it in the past. But anyways, tomorrow's match is for anybody who is not aware. Cena versus Bray Wyatt, a Firefly Funhouse match. Street Profits defending the Raw Tag Team titles against Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Rated R Superstar Edge taking on Randy Orton in a last man standing match. Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. Rhea Ripley defending the NXT Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair.
Oh, and I have Ripley winning.
You have Ripley winning as well. All right. Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, Naomi, Tamina Snuka in a fatal 5-way elimination match. Aleister Black taking on Bobby Lashley. Otis taking on Heel Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler. I've got a lot of at symbols and hashtags set up for Twitter tomorrow, so that's why I said Heel Ziggler. And then Natty Neidhart, Natalia taking on Liv Morgan. What are you looking forward to the most as far as tomorrow goes?
Probably the Firefly Funhouse to see what production and smoke and mirrors that they do with that one, like they did with Undertaker and AJ. But of course, Edge versus Orton, probably the first Randy Orton match I've been looking forward to in a long time, just because of the build-up, and it's Edge's return match.
Yeah, actually looking forward to a Randy Orton match.
Only because of Edge.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. Anyways, WrestleMania Part 2 takes place tomorrow at 6 p.m. as far as the kickoff shows go. 7 p.m. as far as the event itself goes. Hopefully, still with it as far as tomorrow night goes. We can recap number 2. As far as night 2 goes. Jones, you're welcome to join us as long as you're on best behavior. And I will leave it at that. Sean, your agreement with that?
Sure, and I think Steven was wondering about coming. I'm not sure who else.
All right, so if we got Jones, we get Steven. We got 2 more spots for guests. So if you're wanting to be part of this show tomorrow night as far as the WrestleMania recap goes, and please try to watch the show. That way we have something logical to talk to you about. You just don't say, hey, what happened about that Hulk Hogan match? No, Hulk Hogan is not on the card as far as we know tomorrow night. So
anything's possible.
Anything is possible. But if you want to be part of the show, Scumbags of Wrestling, actually, I still think I have these links. Hold on a second. There we go, right there. If you want to be part of the show tomorrow night, Scumbags of Wrestling, Facebook.com/groups/Scumbags of Wrestling. Let us know. Jonesy, you got an invite. Steven, you got an invite. 2 more people we can handle with 6 people up to this show that we can have on the show. Probably about 10:30, 10:45 tomorrow night as well, as far as doing a recap goes.
I'd also like to encourage whoever is joining us to join us in the chat during the night so we know somewhat what you're thinking beforehand and know that you're actually watching.
Fuck that chat. I was part of that chat tonight, and every time I looked, I was like, hey, I'm now 1-3, 1-4, 1-5. It sucked. I ended up being 4-5 tonight. So you know what? Don't be part of that chat. Just basically, hold on, we get a comment here. I guarantee it from Jones. What do you mean my best behavior? I could do so much worse. Anyways, but no, Sean's right. The coolest thing about WrestleMania as far as tonight goes was being part of the Scumbags of Wrestling chat. You get to interact with fans, see how they're feeling about the matches and everything else as well. And you've got different entities as far as wrestling fans go. I know you had somebody who was on your Scumbags of Wrestling prediction show, Gord, right? He was part of the chat tonight and then part of your show as well.
Yep, Gord was in there near the end. Trevor ended up joining us. And there was a couple others in the chat too.
Yeah, so it is cool. Just see the thoughts of other wrestling fans as you're watching the show itself. But I mean, Sean and I can do this post show, but the fact is, we have no idea what's going on with regards to your opinions unless you're chatting with us right now, or whether or not you've chatted with us beforehand. So, anyways, if you're available tomorrow, 10:30, 10:45, let us know. Scumbags are wrestling. As far as Sean's Facebook group goes. Let us know as far as wanting to be part of the show tomorrow night as far as TNT goes, and we will get your thoughts on WrestleMania Part 2. To me, as far as the show itself went, it was a good show. It was unexpectedly good. Honest to God, I don't have any complaints at all. Looking forward to night 2. I think probably Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar closes the show. Probably Drew takes it. But it's one of those things that it's a weird year for WrestleMania. It's a weird year in general. But your thoughts, Sean, in closing as a wrestling fan, being part of this COVID-19 crap and being a wrestling fan, still watching WrestleMania as this coronavirus takes place?
Well, in all honesty, everybody will agree the virus and how it's taken a grip on the world has sucked, because a lot of the independents, or every independent, has been shut down. And we were supposed to do a bunch of shows, be live and help support them and take it in as fans as well. And with the fact that it's only AEW and WWE going on right now, I want to thank them for being there still and taking our mind off of the 24 hours of news about nonstop numbers changing and going up. And it's a little worrisome, obviously, the numbers going up, but they're not also revealing all the numbers of the people who are coming through on the other side of it. And that's causing a lot of panic. Wrestling not addressing it fully and presenting themselves still with or without an audience present has been a good relief. And like I said, thank you until you guys have to stop. And if not, I mean, if that day comes, we have the network and other on-demand services, whether it's WWE or the Indies and even Impact Plus. So much to watch out there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny what you just mentioned, because the fact is, my wife of all people had said to me when we're watching, the news and stuff like that, it's like they announce how many people are infected, how many people across Canada, how many people across Ontario, how many people across the world. But what they don't state, and this is media related, is how many people have pulled through this. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things they should be focusing on. It's one of those things my wife does get pissed off about. But the fact is, it is one of those things that people are pulling through. You read reports about people in, say, Vancouver pulling through this who are 90 years old, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you hear about people passing away at 20 years old who are in Ontario. So it's tough to hear about. But I think Alex Reed, and we both know him, you know him better than I do, says both companies should take a break after this. And I 100% agree about this. And I think UFC included as well, as far as MMA world goes. I think AEW and WWE and UFC, and as far as wrestling in general goes, leave it to the networks, leave it to their their social media, leave it to their YouTube accounts, everything else. Let it go, and let it go for a good month, and just let fans enjoy what has happened and has taken place, and then bring it back to life. Maybe come May, maybe come June, but forget about all the live stuff and forget about trying to put out a product that is pre-recorded that people haven't seen before. Your last thoughts on this before we say goodbye? Do you agree with Alex as far as letting it go until, say, for example, the summertime comes and everything's fresh and ready to go again? And Sean has froze again. So no one's Sean as long as I have. I would say he would agree with this. I would say that every company needs a break right now. And I would say that in Sean's theory and Sean's best take, that Chris Jericho is the master and the ruler of the world. So we'll leave it at that. Give it about 15 seconds before I log off and sign off. But Alex, I definitely agree with you as far as people taking a break about this. I think that it's I mean, it's whether or not it's live outside and people, not doing their thing to wrestling in general. But I think the world just needs to take a break on stuff in general. Jones says, we are blessed to have this pandemic happen in this era. 100 years ago, less people lived to watch wrestling. Viva wrestling. And thank you, Jones, for that comment. Viva wrestling. All right, we'll get Sean's official comment. Before we sign off. Hey, Sean, I kind of spoke for you, but your thoughts on Alex's comment as far as wrestling taking a break, as a whole.
Yeah, okay. I totally agree with Alex to an extent. From the sounds of it, when AEW moved to Georgia this past week at QT Marshall School, they ended up filming enough until mid-May. So they're good to go on a break for at least 4 to 6 weeks. WWE, they've been on break for almost 2 weeks as of Thursday, with question mark if they can get back to work on Friday. If not, I'd like to see them at least utilize some of their network stuff and maybe do what like we're doing right now and they've done for Backstage or whatever it is that they do on FS1, and just talk about matches and talk to the talent that way, and at least have some new content, interview style, and then throw in a match. There's no need to get back to work. They have a lot of material to work with. And if they have to rest and keep everybody safe, including like a Roman Reigns with immune issues, why not? The world will continue. Wrestling will come back, even if you're an independent wrestler company or the billionaire company like WWE. Take a rest, get healthy, the whole world, and I'm done with it.
All right, sorry. Alex had 2 comments. One was just they. The other was we have enough back catalog to go on for months, and I totally agree with you, Alex. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for watching and listening tonight. I will not get this up anytime tonight, so look for this tomorrow on social media and as well as audio. But Sean, thanks for being part of this tonight. 15 days is a long time. Kind of miss my pretty face on this podcast. So, and you look like you're frozen again. My wife just laughed. Yeah, so we will leave it at that. So, anyways, folks, that is it. I guess I will shut down this podcast for tonight. Sean has frozen for the 6th time tonight. I don't know if it's me or him. It is 11:37 at night. But anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for watching, as well as if you are listening later on. We will be back tomorrow night, hopefully with better, internet feed as far as night 2 of WrestleMania coverage goes. I almost say WrestleMania 2, but WrestleMania 36 coverage goes. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, for watching and listening. Thank you very much for bearing with me with everything that's going on with me and the past 15 days. But again, check us out. I will post a link right now to reach us online, so you can reach us TN Throwdown at and late at night, and me not doing the show for 15 days. TNThrowdown.ca is our link, as well as Thursday Night Throwdown Outlook.com. You can reach us, and that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for being part of this, and we will see you, and we will talk to you tomorrow night. Thank you very much, and take care.